I think the first part of your question about infrastructure and its link to the macroeconomy is probably the best starting point. It is very clear now that the government has very clearly made up its mind that it is the expenditure and investment in infrastructure that is going to pump prime the economy and stimulate GDP growth. In fact, at one of the recent post-budget meetings, the Secretary Finance, Dr. Somnathan, made a very revealing statement. He said that the Government of India had very credible research reports that said that 1 rupee spent on infrastructure or public works result in 3 rupees of GDP, whereas the same 1 rupee of government spend on direct benefit transfer of, let us say, putting money in the pockets of a consumer result in 90 paisa of GDP. Now, while there are many voices that talk about lesser allocation to infra and more towards social schemes, and certainly they have their logic, but it is very clear that the government stand on putting massive amounts of resources, as seen in the last budget and generally other policies, into infrastructure is possibly the right thing for this economy and has the highest multiplier effect. The next question to link with the macroeconomy is, what is the right level of infrastructure investment for the country, for any country? There is no one answer. Over time, economic historians have tracked that the index called GCFI, Gross Capital Formation in Infrastructure, as a percentage of GDP, is possibly the best measure of GDP. And different countries at different life cycles of the economy have revealed different levels of spend. For example, China, and for that matter many Southeast Asian economies at the height of their growth stage, have gone as high as 11% GCFI. But by common consent, from the time this issue was squarely addressed in the 11th and 12th plan by the Planning Commission and by the UPA government, there seems to be a reasonable convergence across political parties and across economists and policy types that around 8 to 9% of GCFI is an appropriate investment that India should make. So the question is, are we somewhere near that level? Now, if you see the National Infrastructure Pipeline, NIP,
Yes.
it postulates 111 lakh crores of infrastructure spend over 5 years.
Yes.
Very roughly, that's about 22 lakh crores per annum. Now, the nominal GDP today is somewhere around 240 lakh crores.
Right.
So when you see 22 upon 240, you will see it is around 8-9%, and even if you do not so well for other reasons, it will certainly be at the levels of 7-7.5%. So at a broad macroeconomic level, we are in the spend on infrastructure, and the level of spend on infrastructure is directionally correct.